one of the oldest tricks in the book of a cynical government under pressure is the tactic of divide and conquer and scapegoating innocent people for that government's own failing. And that is what we heard from Simon Harris over the weekend when he essentially hung a target on the back of asylum seekers, people exiting direct provision, and immigrants generally by suggesting
the terminology, Deputy Boyd Barrett, is not in order.
That they were responsible for the housing crisis.
Sorry, Deputy Boyd Barrett. The terminology you're using is not in order, please.
He has echoed
Deputy Boyd
the scapegoating.
Deputy Boyd Barrett, will you please listen to me? You have used language that is extremely dangerous, and you're levelling accusations.
The Taoiseach used.
You are levelling allegations.
The Taoiseach used dangerous language. The Taoiseach used dangerous and dishonest language, suggesting things that are simply not true about asylum seekers and people exiting direct provision, when it is the government who have exacerbated the homelessness crisis by lifting the no-fault eviction ban and by failing to address the deficit in social and affordable housing. So why don't you ask the Taoiseach to stop scapegoating asylum seekers and immigrants and have, as we've been asking for months, the discussion that you promised we'd have on the Housing Commission report, which of course laid the blame for the housing crisis where it belongs on the shoulders of this government.
Deputy Matthew McGrath.
I want to just deal with the issue that has been raised there by a number of you, particularly Deputy Boyd Barrett. You know, Deputy, you can't, on one hand, stand up and make the case for divisive language and then use the phrase target on their back. That was your language. That was your language.
I didn't make the statement. He did.
We do have a responsibility to ensure not only the right policies are in place, but we use the right language to describe it. What the Taoiseach has said, including in the interview, that is the cause of your question, he has talked about the rights that we have to look after those who need support. He has talked about the benefits that migration and openness bring to our country and our economy, and he has done that on many, many occasions. Regardless of where somebody comes from, regardless if they're born here, if they're making Ireland their home, if they're seeking refuge here, they have a right to expect that we'll do all we can to prevent them from being homeless and give them support, and we do it. It is the reason why the government spends over €200 million per year to try to prevent people being homeless. It's the reason why we've the largest social housing programme for many decades. And it's also the reason why our efforts to accommodate those who are looking for refuge and our ongoing efforts to provide more homes in our country are provided by two different government departments in our efforts to do that. We make the case for openness. We made the case for the rules in relation to migration, and we do, but also for the great benefits that migration and openness has brought to our country.
Are the arrangements